Let's see. Here we go. This is big, man. Shareable link. Enter in tweet. So that's out. You can see the tweet. You're tagged in it. Let me know when you see it.
Give me 1 second. I'm saying going live
Sure.
with Danish HODL to talk
It,
about
I tag
Square.
you. You can retweet it, right?
Oh, yep. Hang on. Yep. Hang on 1 second.
Sure.
Yep. Up there it
We will
is.
go live in again, guys. You got it?
Yep.
All right. Let me go back to your profile. I got a feeling that we might need to have a look at that today. All right. Good morning and welcome everyone back to another edition of the Toxic Happy Hour with your host Danish HODL and the almighty Publord.hodl. Publord, good morning, and what are you drinking today?
Good morning. Yeah. Well, afternoon here technically. So yeah, came out for lunch and back to an IPA.
Nice. The same as usual?
Yeah. There's one from Florida and it's called High Lie. It's quite good if you get a chance
Oh,
to try it. Yeah.
nice. Just want to say, Publord, it is afternoon for him. It is morning for me. We are not in the same time zone. But so what
Yeah.
I'm having in my Copenhagen Starbucks
Yep.
coffee, that's like a picture of my dad. He used to be royal guard in Denmark.
Oh,
Um,
really?
and I'm just unfortunately having some instant coffee here, some organic instant coffee. But hey, it's coffee, and I need coffee. Pablo, big
Yeah.
big things happening today, and
Yeah.
and that's really why we went live here. You didn't really have time. You got a lot of things you got to prepare for traveling, but
Yeah.
here we are, Square with Jack Dorsey. Uh, ran the numbers and found out it's a good idea to hold some Bitcoin on the balance sheet.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what's been going on?
Yeah. Just for all intents and purposes, they decided to buy $50 million worth, which to them I think is a drop in the bucket. I mean, what the hell? Like maybe it's 1% position. Um, someone's joking. Oh my gosh, this is great news, and it is on one side, but it just shows how much Michael Saylor's investment made with his 450 or 425 with 85% of his company. But yeah, man, when you get the street cred of a Jack Dorsey, even putting in just 1% right now, if you thought Michael Saylor going in and taking the pressure off other CEOs and CFOs from doing this type of move, my God, the all bets are off now. When any company CFO or CEO can go in and say, "Look, Jack Dorsey just put in 1%."
Yeah,
I mean, it's huge news.
so it's absolutely huge news because this is not a MicroStrategy. Like I think most people had never heard of MicroStrategy. So when they converted all their cash on the balance sheet to
Yep.
Bitcoin in order to preserve value, not to make a
Yeah.
speculation that it's going to go up in dollars. No, it's just to preserve value.
Yeah.
Then that was really interesting, but no one had heard about it before. But Jack Dorsey and Square is a company
Yep.
that most people have heard of.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey is the founder of both Twitter and Square. But what I don't understand is if you run the numbers and realize that Bitcoin is a better store of value, it's more secure because it cannot be diluted. Same as fiat
Yeah.
currency that is being diluted really, really fast. We did
Yeah.
an episode on that yesterday where we spoke about the 22% this year. The
Yeah.
monetary base has expanded. But why are they only buying $50 million worth? Why are they not securing all of the value that they have on the balance sheet?
Well, I don't know the ins and outs of the company set up there with their board of directors. I do know it was easy for Michael Saylor. I think he had 72% of controlling interest, so he could jump in and out, or he could apply quite a bit of pressure. Um, you know, this is for a company of that stature. I'm sure just getting 1%, he had to fight with people that have old school mentalities, still tied to your ways. The important takeaway here for me is at least it's a step. It's 1%. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, like I say, how what kind of arm twisters or the legalities behind those boards and the decisions. But hell, 50 million is 50 million, and
Right.
it's showing a company is honestly now accessing Bitcoin as a store of value, and they're getting it. It's obviously you and I know it's much better than cash, but you're finally seeing the credibility go from a MicroStrategy to a Square as well.
Absolutely. But I mean, we just, as soon as I saw this, I pretty much woke up not too long ago.
Yeah.
Um, I, I, I started looking at your memes you've been putting out today. You're absolutely on fire. Everyone, the link to Publord's tweet is below. I mean, his Twitter account. You should definitely follow him for a lot of great meme content. Um, but so I didn't have time because we just went live as soon as possible. When I saw this, I didn't have time to
Yeah.
go through Square's balance sheet and see how much have they actually converted. I'm sure it's more than 1%, but do you have any idea of how much this $50 million they have converted is of that? Is it? I mean, yeah. Do you have any idea of that?
I haven't researched that. I think I read somewhere, someone tweeted, I can't verify it, but I think it was basically just 1% of their holdings, of their cash holdings
Oh,
that they
really?
convert. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I got the 1% number. Again, don't quote me on it. I'll research this afterward, but hey, don't let the
Right.
facts get in the way of a good podcast, right?
No, no, yeah. Hey, no,
Uh,
let's not have the facts get in the way of a good
yeah.
toxic happy hour.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess $50 million is it's a lot of money for me and you, but in the big grand scheme, it's not a lot of money. But I think the takeaway here is that the important part
Yeah.
is that such a well-known company, Square, is
Yeah.
starting to convert um, cash to Bitcoin. Did you see
Yeah.
any of the reasoning why? I mean, I saw the tweet from Square, and then I clicked on the link, but that website
Yeah.
that you came to had like 50 different um, downloads. It linked to like PDFs or
Yeah.
something. So it
I haven't
wasn't
read through all that. I haven't read through all that, but yeah, you're right. There was a link to some of the reasoning. Uh, but like I said, what I love about it now is, especially for the small companies, you have like Tahini's we talked about from
I know
Toronto.
you keep talking about them. Are they making some food that you like, or what is it? Is it
Oh,
are they doing tacos? Is this Taco Tuesday, or
oh
what's
man,
going on?
man, they're all about the shawarmas, the Middle
Love it,
Eastern. Love
love
it
it.
too, man. And so, no, what I like about them was, that's a small business that really got Bitcoin, understood it, and this. So what I like about this is you have like a Jack Dorsey and all these large corporations that are going to take their time, but now you have a small business. Tahini's already been in, but now look at all these other small businesses that say, look, at Jack just put 50 million into this. It's valid, and they can
Yeah,
act quicker. They can act much quicker upon this. So it's
yeah,
all these small size companies, medium sized companies that are going to be getting in before all the monoliths. So
right.
like from the Bible, the last will become first, and the first will become last.
Right. It's still like I just can't wrap my head around why you would only buy $50 million worth of Bitcoin when you have more cash on the balance sheet. Like once you've done the mental exercise, realizing that it's better
Yeah,
preserving value, why would you leave anything in dirty fiat that is just being diluted so fast? But anyways, shout out
yeah,
to Brett Morrison in the chat. His chat is on the screen. Anders, does this speed up hyperbitcoinization? When moon? That is a great question, Brett. First of all, well, shout out to Brett, who was a solid patron of the meetup I was running in Century City back in the heydays of 2017, where there was a huge interest and a lot of people coming out to Bitcoin meetups. Brett was one of my good friends there. So thanks for popping in, Brett. Um, yeah, the question, does this speed up hyper-Bitcoinization? I would say, yeah, it's part of it. It's a part of hyper-Bitcoinization that companies start moving from fiat to a Bitcoin standard of their money. Um, so, and but this is a milestone in that. So I would say yes, it speeds it up. When Moon, I mean, I guess it's the definition of, what definition do you have of Moon? I mean, is it the hyper Bitcoinization, basically infinity, or is it like solid pump prices? I'm going to go with the latter one here, Brett. And I think that um, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily gonna change my outlook for this bull run. I still see $200,000 being reached in Q1 2022, roughly 1.5 years from now. Because to get to that level, we do need big players, big buyers like Square, like MicroStrategy. But still, something today is telling me that when it is someone like Square with this amount of spotlight that they have, and Jack Dorsey, I'm thinking this, yeah,
Yeah.
at least moving it forward to Q4 2021, like everyone is saying, because everyone's saying, oh, the bull run, it will be the same as last. It'll be like 1.5 years plus or minus. I mean, I have my good reasons to believe it's going to be longer. Stock to flow is not accelerating as fast as earlier, but yeah, Brett, this could be Moon earlier. This could be 200K reached earlier because it's a solid signal to the world. What do you think, Pablo? What's your take on that?
Yeah, when companies come in like this now, you know, for 2020, it's thrown a wrench into the works for me. And what everyone viewed Bitcoin as initially, everyone talked about this peer-to-peer um, transfer of value, which rightfully so. Um, but now you have a fiat system that is getting so diluted so quickly, um, and you have companies now that are putting it on a balance sheet. Listen, it's not like they're going to be using this just to buy and sell things, or they're not going to be transferring funds. It's a whole new use case. An original use case is making something a store of value. Right now, it's a land grab, but you're going to have companies come in saying, "My God, they just put 50 million in. We got to put in our millions, and we'll take it." So it's going to be for full hyper Bitcoinization is when you use it regularly as a transfer value as well. To me, that's hyper Bitcoinization. Um,
Right.
at what point do companies let go? Because right now, Bitcoin to me, it's you better just grab it and hold it for a while because everyone's going to be
Yeah.
fighting for it. I don't know when. Is it after the next halving? There's large settlement things, between countries, between corporations. When they want to settle something, maybe they use Bitcoin for that. Um, but who wants to buy a cup of coffee with something that they think is going to go 100x or 1000x? So
Right, right. That's
yeah,
my take, but so yeah, but the big question is still like when. I mean, there's still people that doubt that we're going to hyper Bitcoinization, but I think to you and me, it's a question of when. In this decade,
yeah,
for sure. I personally think
yeah,
uh 2026. After the next having that bull run,
yeah,
I still think that once
yeah,
Bitcoin reaches somewhere above 200,000, if it does in this bull run, which I believe it's just going to be so high that there's going to be some like significant holders that say, okay, I want to buy a house now, I want to pay off my mortgage, I want to buy a car, whatever. Or some of them that were early enough want to buy an island or a private jet, So,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it's, this can only help because it's a very solid signal to send to the market.
Yeah, and how many? When you're talking about how come they only bought $50 million worth, we don't know that. I mean, that's what they told us. Uh, but how many companies are behind the scenes right now? Just trying to scoop it up while they can and keep the price suppressed as long as they can. You know?
Right. So I remember Michael Saylor. He was saying that look, this is actually a move that takes a lot of time. Like you need to first you're talking internally in the boardroom. Then you need to find out how do we actually do this without people knowing we are buying. So because we don't want to pump up the price so we pay more. This is not a
Yeah,
market buy. You don't market buy $425 million worth of Bitcoin. You do it stealth like Michael Saylor that he
yeah.
bought it. Was it every 3 seconds he was buying 0.2 Bitcoin or something
What?
like for
Yeah,
2
Yeah,
weeks, and
0.19 Bitcoin every 3 seconds for what 72 hours. And,
right.
and and here's the baller move: was he kept 30 to 50 million dollars on the sideline in case there happened to be some price drop of 1 to 2%. He's just going to buy another $50 million worth.
Yeah. Always have 50 million in dry powder, guys.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
takeaway here. So Jack
that's what I
Dorsey
learned.
realized he had $50 million worth of dry powder, and
Yep,
I guess he felt that the price came too low with the recent BitMEX event. He dropped a couple of
yeah,
hundred million, a couple of $100, and needed to buy. So,
yeah,
but what surprises me is that as Michael Saylor was saying, it takes time to prepare this, like internally get the vote, then
yeah,
technically find out how you're going to do this without moving the price, finding out, how you're going to cold storage your hundreds and millions worth of Bitcoin,
yeah,
to make sure that it's safe against internal hacks and external hacks, etc.
yeah,
And and I must say, I didn't expect, and I'm very bullish. You know that, people know that. I did
yeah,
not expect uh, another company buy of Bitcoin to come this soon. I didn't expect to see that in 2020 at all. After listening to Michael Saylor, I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's 6 to 9 months, as he was saying before. We'll see others potentially doing the same, and also they have to go through the mental exercise of going down the
yeah,
rabbit hole and doing the research and finding out, yes, Bitcoin is money, and also it's the best money we've ever seen, and therefore make the move of converting dirty value losing fiat to
yeah,
Bitcoin. So I didn't expect to see it this year, but I guess that might also be the explanation why we are only seeing $50 million worth from Square. I wonder if they're not right now doing the legwork to go out and buy $1 billion worth um,
yeah,
of Bitcoin. And I think if you're a stakeholder in a company like Amazon or Facebook or Google or Netflix, some of those big players with a lot of cash, you should be asking the management now, the board, why are you
yeah,
not preserving the cash value on the balance sheet? Why are you not buying Bitcoin? Because everybody knows that fiat is going down. So shout out to BTC Moon Guy, who almost always joins our live streams
yep.
here. So, yo, dudes, NGU, that's right, number go up. This is number go up technology. So,
I was going to jump in on that one thought.
please, please.
And you were talking about like how surprised you were that another company came in this quickly. And I will tell you two things. One, it's not that it's just any company, because I think Saylor said most companies will be 6 or 9 months behind, but it's a company of this size and complexity. So what that tells me is they've had this in the works for quite some time to come out this soon. So this is something that everyone knows, at Jack, he gave us the Bitcoin emoji, so to speak, um, or the hashtag. But this tells me that he's been working this angle from at least the beginning of this year to make a purchase by now with a company that size. So that's a very
Yeah,
bullish sign.
maybe he even started thinking about this and planning this before Michael Saylor. I don't think so, though. I think because I think the 50 million is something that you can move faster with in the company.
Yeah,
I think this decision was not even contemplated until Michael Saylor came out as the
yeah,
one true big baller on Wall Street.
yeah,
Not that he works there, but his company is listed there.
yeah,
This is 50 million is something that you can probably get through in a big company like Square, like fairly quickly.
yeah. Absolutely. And I'll tell you another angle on this, man. And it's just like whenever there's a ransom for anything, they always want Bitcoin. So now, how any company now is going in, you never hear the word Ethereum, you never heard the word Bcash, BSV. The only thing these people want is Bitcoin, because they realize it's the most valuable coin out there. It's the only thing. No one wants anything else. So yeah, this every time it comes out with an announcement, I just see all these altcoins just like getting ready to cry because no one wants them. No one wants
Yeah,
them.
That's a very good point, Publord. No one is going out and saying, "Oh, we bought $2 million worth of Ethereum because we
No,
believe that the infinite supply can store our value." Of course not. No one is buying something with infinite
yeah,
supply, not infinite value, infinite supply.
so,
Something
right,
with an unknown monetary policy of supply.
yeah,
Hopefully this is starting to make people understand that altcoins are scams that are out to enrich their founders based on
right,
you listening to nonsense arguments for world computer or privacy coin, all these things. Bitcoin has anything of value, Bitcoin has it. And whatever is
no,
not there yet, privacy is something, it's probably the last thing that Bitcoin doesn't have, which is already now being developed, and you can already do privacy now with CoinJoin. You just need
no,
to be a little bit technical advanced, but
yeah,
it's Bitcoin only. Like no one's buying any altcoins because they don't make sense. And this is Gresham's law working out. You will see people buying and holding the best money until the end and keeping that. There's no, money is a winner takes all game, and Bitcoin is the clear
yeah,
winner. Michael Saylor also said that anytime a technological network has reached $100 billion worth
yeah.
of of value, it's a winner. Back to you.
Yeah, he had a great point. And I listen. I think, and anytime I can find him on a podcast, I'm just fascinated to hear the backstory on his thought process, and how he came to Bitcoin only. And the one great point he had was, look, man, Bitcoin survived it. I mean, there's not been any other coin attacked the way Bitcoin's been attacked. I mean, it survived hard forks. It survived everything. Came out ahead. And he specifically was talking about Ethereum, and they're talking about, yeah, it's Ethereum 2.0, and it's almost as if that you got to let something be established for 3 years before a major company is going to put a stake in it. At least 3 years.
Yeah,
And so he goes, 2.0 is just coming out. He goes, I would wait 3 years to see what the hell plays out with it, basically.
yeah, yeah.
So what? Yeah. So so a company isn't going to put $425 million into something that's going to be a 3.0 in a couple of years.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing that Bitcoin already now, for the purpose of storing value, is the finished product. It is already ready to
Yeah.
go. But Ethereum is not that we want to spend too much time talking about these dirt coins, but
Yeah.
Ethereum is still, hey guys, we need to solve this problem that we don't know how to solve. If we can solve it, we'll call it Ethereum 2.0, and then
Yeah.
maybe we can solve problems at that stage. I mean, this is still unproven. You can't compare Bitcoin to Ethereum. The
No.
first one is finished. It's already a product. It's already a money that
Yeah.
is working. Ethereum is hoping to solve their problems to maybe one day be able to offer value and solve problems.
Yeah, the only use case I've come up with for Ethereum is that it's a platform to host scam coins. That's it. It's a platform that you have your ICOs, you got your DeFi, you got your yams, you got your
Yeah,
sushi, and other than that, there's absolutely no value. Um, with Bitcoin, so I always like to say, what is the value proposition of anything? Boom, digital scarcity. 2 words.
yeah, yeah.
Provable digital scarcity. You don't need anything else. And people try to make things so complex, and they don't need to be.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, this Bitcoin is solving a simple question or problem by digital scarcity. The first time ever. Imagine he developed something that digitally you can't copy paste. This is just a solid value proposition. That's how you base money because it's scarce. He created digital scarcity, um, and money needs to be scarce. Fiat currency is
Yeah.
not money because money, if you look it up in the dictionary, one of the functions is it can store value. This is what's slowly being realized
Yeah.
by these public companies, that you don't store value in fiat currency. If you want to preserve value on the cash balance sheet, um,
Yeah.
you need to convert it to Bitcoin. But Pablo, when do you think we will see some of the well-known big companies? I mean, if something if one of the big companies start doing this, I mean,
Yeah.
it will change a lot of things really fast. Like if there's a press release
Yeah.
from Amazon or anyone, it's a totally
Well,
different level.
well, first I would say one thing. Satoshi is obviously a genius to us. I'll say here's the amazing part: the digital scarcity. He invent. We never had true scarcity in the world before, like this. Uh, but here's what's the amazing thing: the second part, he made it unconfiscatable. People don't talk about that enough. Not hey, listen, guys. Not only am I giving you digital scarcity, but I'm taking it out of control of any government, and I'm putting it in your hands. So that gets overlooked quite a bit. So I just want to put that one out there. Yeah,
Absolutely true. It's
yeah,
because Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin digital and decentralized. He
yeah,
created unconfiscatability, which
yeah,
means, as you say, as long as you know what you're doing, well, you can
yeah,
actually make sure that your Bitcoin cannot be confiscated from you.
yeah,
Unlike gold, that in 1933 the U.S. government says, "Give us all your gold, or you go to jail." Like
yeah,
citizens had to hand over their
yeah,
money basically to the government because the government wanted their money.
yeah,
Makes you kind of think if government is for the people or if government is for the government. And we all know, of course, the answer is government is there to help
yeah.
itself.
Well, look at Europe in the 30s and early 40s, and everyone trying to flee with anything. Look, Bitcoin's a perfect thing that you can take your wealth for your family out of any country and reestablish anywhere else in the world. Um,
Right.
VJ, I heard VJ on a podcast. He was talking about being on a trip with his father, and I guess to leave, he had everything in gold, and how nervous his father was because everything he owned was in gold.
Yeah.
Bitcoin solves that problem, of course. But no, to quickly get back to your question regarding the next companies, hell, it may be like there's a weekly announcement somewhere. If you've heard Jeff Booth on his podcast, he's on many boards, and all those boards they're already talking about it. So every company, I think, in the country, they're at least discussing this. Now they're at different parts. Some are maybe 20% there, some are 40, 60, 80, depending upon the size and complexity. But look, after this, the gloves are off. You could almost see each week or once a month a company's going to come out and say, listen, yeah, we got a stake in Bitcoin. Now, for them, I don't know why they would say that. You want to keep the price down as much as you can, obviously, but yeah, I mean, you can imagine an Apple coming out and say, "Yeah, we just put $1 billion into Bitcoin," which is a drop in the bucket.
For them,
We'll
yeah,
see.
totally. It's
Yeah,
1 billion for Apple is not even 1%. I believe they have at more than $200 billion. I mean, I could be wrong. Don't hold me up on that. Maybe they only have 180 million or billion
yeah,
dollars worth of cash. But when you think about it, when you put it that way, I'm thinking, you know, an announcement like that from Square surely is going to help others go and do the same, which means that
yeah.
the price will be going up. Why would you want to say that until you converted everything? Why are
Uh,
Square so bearish that they only put 50 million in and announce it to help others buy it up before they put the rest in? Why are they so bearish? I don't get it.
well, again, we don't know. I mean, they say 50 million. Maybe it was 500 million. We don't know. We'll see.
Right. Yeah. But then why? I mean, as a public company, I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to lie in a press release.
Well,
Uh,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, hope. I mean, I hope for Square that they get their act together and convert the rest while they have time. Why convert it at the cost of $100,000 per Bitcoin? Why not convert it at ten thousand
Hey,
dollars per Bitcoin?
I'll tell you, man. What do we always rail about to people? Dollar cost average in, baby. Dollar cost average in.
Oh, you
You
got
know,
it. You
and
got it.
remember everyone was all crazy about MicroStrategy Part One, and we thought that was it for the year. Until
Yeah.
guess what? Part Two. So
175 on top, 175
yes,
million on top of that. So Michael Saylor proved that the best way to
yeah,
buy Bitcoin is dollar cost averaging in.
yeah,
And
man.
And Jack Dorsey thought he's onto something there. And by the way, if you're in
Yeah.
US and you're looking for a platform to buy to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, I also have a link to that below in the show notes on
Yeah.
YouTube. That is one Bitcoin, and they have the lowest fees for automatic recurring purchases. Soon's coming out the daily buys, and also
Yeah.
smash buys will be added to that.
So yeah, yeah. So think about that. But it could be next month. You find out Square just bought another 100 million.
Yeah, maybe they will release these press releases, I don't know, once a week, once a month, saying, "Oh, so we dollar cost average another 100 million
Yeah.
into Bitcoin."
Yeah. All these companies are I guarantee they're all looking at each other, and it maybe becomes a pissing contest about how much they go in on. Um, but for them to just put 1 to 5% into Bitcoin is absolutely nothing. It's very, I mean, absolutely zero risk for them at the end of the
Right,
day. You
right,
know, and so what I'm looking at is what does the face of hyper Bitcoinization look like? How do we define it?
uh
Um,
huh,
because pretty soon, if it just goes on balance sheets, or the first country goes in and says we're making this 10% of our national reserve, we haven't even started that yet. Um,
right. You
I
mean
think
the
you've got,
countries buying it?
yeah. Oh, of course. And you've got, listen, man, you've got 4 years, at least the next halving of just accumulation. That's it. Just be
Yeah,
accumulating. It's not going to be spent by anyone because everyone
right.
just is going to be accumulating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Pablo, you've been doing some great meme work this last many weeks. Is it becoming? How long has it been now? 2 months, 1 month. Great job there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I started. I think mid-August. I downloaded that meme generator, and hey, it's a great
And
community.
here we
Hey,
are.
Brecky, yeah, Brecky. He's one of my favorites there. He's also with he's with Swan Bitcoin as well. But there's a great group within Bitcoin Twitter that gets together, just supportive. And the nice thing about it, man, is anyone can do it. So yeah, download your own meme generator and let your intelligence take over and your
Right.
insight. Yeah,
It truly is the Lord's work doing these memes, because you can really communicate so many things, so many points, and highlight angles at issues in a
yeah,
way that's both funny and hits
yeah,
the nail on the head. You know what? I want to bring up one of them that you shared with me earlier today.
yeah.
Let me just uh, share screen here. Let
Oh, yeah.
me. Okay, here it is. And then maybe if you can just give us an explanation here. Although it seems the
Oh.
GIF is not moving. That's wonderful. Let me refresh that page and see if we can get something going here.
Yeah, so we can do.
I wonder if there's anything there that is like. Here we go.
Hey, nothing R rated.
Here
It's
we
all
go.
clean.
Go ahead. T-
Oh
give
yeah,
us your
yeah,
explanation here. What are you doing? So maybe we'll
yeah.
just let it return, and as it restarts from the beginning, please comment.
Yeah, no. So this is a scene from The Wolf of Wall Street when he first meets his first hiring manager, and what I loved about it, he goes out there, as Michael Saylor is saying, all right, look, man, first rule of this game, you gotta have Bitcoin. Do you have Bitcoin? He's like, well, yeah, yeah, of course, I got some Bitcoin. He goes, well, yeah, how much? Oh, yeah, $50 million. This is the classic scene, though, where he comes
Yeah,
back with,
yeah,
"Oh, those are rookie numbers in this game. You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this bracket."
exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
because he's 425 million in with all his company, and that Jack has so many more resources, but only put in 50.
Right. So once again, I just want to tell everyone, you can find Publord's Twitter account below. He's doing a lot of great meme work, and I know a lot of even people in the chat here meme generators themselves. Um, and as you can see on the screen, we have Judge here throwing a beer our way.
Oh,
He
George,
was
hey
saying,
George, yeah,
yeah. And yeah, so this was actually fun. This is the first time, Pablo, that something happened. So let's say current that we just went live without too much preparation, definitely from my side. I mean, you've been all over,
Yeah.
you've been on Bitcoin Twitter for like 8 hours now. I kind of woke up and saw some cool tweets from you that you sent
Yeah.
my way, and then I saw the Square announcement. It's pretty fun. It also has the consequence that I don't have like extra coffee next by. This one is empty now, which is a
Yeah.
problem. So um, I will
Well,
head in a
yeah, go
direction
ahead.
where I can make some more coffee. But and thanks for taking the time because I know that you're about to travel, so you're really busy. You didn't have time for this. You were doing this for the plebes
Yeah.
coming out talking Square.
Yeah, hey, I always try to make time for Bitcoin. I have about 5 minutes left before I got to sign off here, but yeah, absolutely. When you see news like this, yeah, you get sort of pumped up. You want to talk about it. So yeah,
Absolutely,
when you reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's just go live." Well, we don't do much prep anyway. It just
we
the
don't.
the big
People may
it
not be
flows.
aware of it. Well, maybe I don't know, but we
Yeah,
actually just go live and saying. Like we say, oh, if we run out of topics, we can always talk about so and so. Like we usually
yeah,
just go live and I ask you
yeah,
what's going on in the world of Bitcoin, and you're on top of
yeah,
it because you're up way earlier than me, and you've already spent 8 hours on Bitcoin Twitter by the time that we go live. So
yeah.
how's the? I can tell you, my coffee is actually, even though it's instant, it's some. Um, let's do a little plug here. Mount Hagen organic fair trade coffee. It's actually really nice. That's why I'm having more. So how's the IPA? Is that tasting like more?
Oh, it's tasting beautiful. So yeah, I'm finishing up here with the beer. Um, Got to go home, get packed. And like I say, I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'll be at a undisclosed location for the next month or so. But definitely will be there for HODL or not when he joins us, and Daniel Prince. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those as well, and whoever else
Absolutely.
we want to have join in.
Absolutely. So just a good little teaser there. Later in October, we'll be having Hodl Not on for Toxic Happy Hour
Yeah,
and Daniel Prince from UK. So that's two Europeans that we're getting on, and you will be sitting somewhere in an exotic location. Um,
yeah,
and we'll talk Bitcoin, and for sure there will be other topics to pick up then. But so before you sign off, is there uh, anything else going on in Bitcoin today that you want to share and tell us
yeah.
about?
Not a whole lot, man. Like I said, this is the big news that's dominating. Obviously, anytime you get uh, you get someone like Jack Dorsey promoting this and actually buying in, and it also shows the power to me um, of all the tweet after MicroStrategy was the number of people saying, "Hey, at Jack, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got this, you talked about it. Well, guess what? He responded, didn't he? At least
You
he came
did.
out. He responded. So I think he's really tied in to Bitcoin Twitter, especially. It's the only word in his bio. Man, what a great advocate to have.
Yeah.
Some of some of his stuff, being so woke, and the social justice stuff, I may not necessarily agree with, but hey, the guy, he's always supported Bitcoin, and now he's finally putting some money there. It's good to see.
Yeah, I guess Jack Dorsey thought if he couldn't be number one, at least he could be number two.
Yeah,
Um, but again, it kind of makes you think because he built what a long time ago the Cash App where you could buy Bitcoin.
yep,
So he
yeah,
knew that Bitcoin is coming. He knew that Bitcoin is getting bigger, and why they
sure,
haven't invested in it before now is kind of a big question. But maybe he needed that approval from
yeah,
Michael Saylor and another company doing it, and it's really opening the doors now for other companies to allocate to Bitcoin for the safety of the value of the assets that they have, preserving
yeah,
value. And we're probably going to, for each new company
Yeah.
that endorses Bitcoin as a store value, it becomes easier for the next one.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Small companies turn into medium, turn into large, and
Yeah,
so yeah, MicroStrategy. Well, hard to say when you drop 450 million in. I feel bad calling it a medium-sized company, but that's only in comparison when you're looking at it, Amazon or a Facebook, Google.
yeah, yeah,
The, the huge ones. Um, but yeah, but and this goes also into the game theory of things. People are talking about, oh, stock to flow, that's bullshit. Those numbers can never happen. And here's what they don't realize. We discussed it the other day a little bit, but it used to be how many people had to come in for $450 million to go into Bitcoin, like MicroStrategy. Now you're just seeing, you know what? Fuck it. Here's 50 million.
yeah,
That goes in,
yeah.
out of nowhere. So, give me one second here.
Your sound has a little bit gone down. I don't know what. I think you're back now. You're good.
Yeah, no, I'm back. Yeah, there's a call coming in on this. But what I'm saying is, this is where this is like the money coming in. We're laughing about how come it's only $50 million.
Yeah.
Oh, only 50 million. Where before that took
Imagine
how many? Yeah,
imagine something like this had happened in 2017, how revolutionary that would have been. And
yeah,
people don't think that Bitcoin can take over in this decade, but look at the speed at which things are happening. Something like this,
yeah,
two couple companies now endorsing and holding Bitcoin. We
yep,
would never have seen that in 2017. It was like hedge funds was starting to allocate
yeah,
a little bit, as
yep,
an investment, as a speculation. Now
yep,
we're seeing movement for the purpose of safeguarding value, storing
yeah.
value.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad we were able to get a quick call in today. I
Yeah,
gotta make a move here, as it were.
absolutely.
But
So,
yeah, we'll be in touch, man, for sure.
yeah, thank you very much for taking the time that you didn't have today, Publord. It was great just going live with you, talking about
Yeah,
Jack Dorsey's tiny purchase, the super
yeah,
bear
yeah.
Jack Dorsey. So thanks for that, and from all of us in the chat, and from me, have a safe trip, and look forward to see you at your destination.
Hey, thanks, brother. We'll be in touch. Let's say maybe out tomorrow and mostly Saturday, but by Sunday we'll reconnect.
Cool. Let's try and do something then. So to
Sounds
everyone
good.
out there, don't stay. To everyone out there, don't be bearish. Stack your sats as always.
Yeah, just go out and buy 4,000 Bitcoin. Easy.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? I mean, you gotta have a little bit. Put some zeros
Yeah,
behind it, right? All
sounds good,
right.
brother. Take
See you,
care, man. All
Pablo, man. Bye.
right, we'll see you.